Happy time zone to my Oni lovelies. I hope everybody had a good week. It is Sunday for me, but Monday for you. Today, this was something that actually came up in my mind. I made a post on my community tab asking what you guys want to see, and somebody commented something along the lines of like a story time. And I remembered a time I got scammed. I almost forgot about it, but then I realized that it irritated me a lot. So I will be talking about that today. Feel free to give your opinion on it. I will not be showing this person's name or anything like that. But this happened during COVID a couple years ago, and it still bothers me to this day. But hopefully we can spark a conversation about etiquette for when you commission somebody and for the artist getting the commission. But with that, let's get on with the video. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the video. Like the title says, today I'm going to talk about a time I got scammed. It was unfortunate. It was during COVID, so I wasn't working. So all of it together, it was just a bad time all around. But there's a silver lining at the end of that when we get there. But like I mentioned in the intro, hopefully this will spark a conversation about respecting the artists that do your work, and as a client also respecting your time and your money. I understand both ends of it, but in this situation I think the respect of the client to me was not there, as the reasoning for not paying me has no foundation in my opinion, and it doesn't matter what you use it for. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get into how I got scammed. I will post a Google Doc of all the DMs I have with this person. I will not be showing their name or anything like that because I don't want to expose them for anything like that because they have rebranded. So this is more just bringing awareness. And they should be in order, so feel free to read along as I talk about this. But let's begin. It all started back in COVID 2022. I had no job because I was forced to leave due to the safety of my family I was living with. And I needed commissions. So at the time, I was offering VTuber commissions, but not the model, just the art. I didn't rig or anything like that. And so for this particular person's commission, they DM'd me, they reached out to me, and they wanted to get a commission. And so we talked back and forth a little bit, kind of seeing the character design, what were they wanting, stuff like that. And it seemed fine, no red flags. However, my first mistake I ran into, which I should have paid attention to and maybe should have even asked, was if they wanted to pay before or after I was finished. Now, today, normally, I always make people pay before just because it's easier for me and I avoid any scams from people like this. But I asked anyway, and they asked if they could pay after. Of course, me giving the benefit of the doubt, I was like, yeah, they can pay after, no problem. I am giving them the hope that they're a good person, they will pay me as they claim. So, we lock in the deal, I start working on it. I always send work in progress shots of the commissions that I do, and they were liking it, and they were really enjoying it. I asked some questions here and there, stuff like that. And again, you will see this in the messages in that Google Drive folder. So fast forward, I do finish the, I guess you can say, model without any rigging. I finished it completely, and they were very, very happy about it. They loved it, it was good, all that stuff. So from here, I say, hey, it's done, expecting a payment, but they're like, oh, hey, I will pay you on Tuesday because medical bills. Again, benefit of the doubt, I did not mind. I didn't want to push them or bother them or anything like that, so I was like, yeah, no problem, they're gonna pay me on Tuesday. Tuesday rolls around, but also 10 months rolls around after. I'm gonna tell you something, I don't know how I forgot this, but I guess life happened and it was COVID, so I was depressed. So basically, I forgot about the commission. And so one day I was scrolling on my Twitter and my DMs, and I noticed, I was like, oh, wait, I remember I made this drawing, but I don't think I got paid for it. So I verified in my PayPal at the time. I did not get paid for it at all. So, as anybody would probably do, is I reached out to the client and I said, hey, we both forgot, life happened. I know it's been 10 months, we've been doing it well, whatever. However, I noticed that you didn't pay for the commission that I did. And I would like to get compensated for it. And I said, pay when you can, essentially. I didn't even give him like a deadline, and even though I could have been mad and everything. I wasn't. I just said, pay when you can. And so their response, and I will read it out loud because I feel like it's necessary to get the full picture for those who don't want to look at the doc. Okay. The response was, Yeah, I changed my mind and went in a completely different direction with my model. And that was more comfortable for me. Okay. That alone, that's fine. You can rebrand, you can change, you can do whatever. It doesn't matter. It's been 10 months. Like, I expect them to not maybe use the design anymore. Totally fine. And so my response was, no problem with that. I saw it and it looks great. I assume we both just forgot. No biggie. Just pay me whenever you can. Sorry if when I messaged was inconvenient, but I was happening to scroll through my Twitter DMs and noticed. And so their response was, I don't have the money and I don't want the commission. I completely forgot about it, to be honest, and having it now would just make me uncomfortable and dysphoric, and I would never use it, so it would be a waste of money. Sorry. Okay, from this point, this is where disrespect starts to happen when it comes to the art, disrespecting the artist. Whenever we do commissions and we give the art to the person or the asset or whatever it is, unless otherwise stated, we don't care what you do with it once we get the money. It is now yours. You can do whatever with it as you please, even if you don't use it. So to me, it's disrespectful that their reasoning for not paying for the work that I did was, well, I'm not going to use it. And then tried to guilt me by saying, oh, it's going to make me dysphoric. Keep in mind, I was not forcing them to use the model. I could care less if they used the model. I just wanted the money for the work that I spent on it. I want to be compensated. Because if you think about it, if you contract someone to build a building, right? To become something. Let's say it was contracted and eventually will become a McDonald's. Let's say that deal falls through, but the construction workers already built the building. You're not going to then tell them, hey, I know you spent your blood, sweat, and tears building this, but we're not going to pay you because it's not going to be McDonald's anymore. That's not going to happen. They're going to get paid for the work of building the building, and then they're going to move on to the next job, regardless of what you do with it. And so the same thing applies here. And so for them to tell me that, I was kind of furious, of course. So I sent some messages back. It was a waste of my time. You don't have to use it, and I don't want you to feel dysphoric, but that's work. You can't just not pay someone after they did something. And then I gave them the analogy of the building. And I said, it's not like I made the drawing in 2 seconds, and most of us don't do art for free. I was hoping this would be easier than what you're making it. Unfortunately, I cannot undo the work I did for you, regardless if you use it or not. And at that point, they stopped responding. They ended up blocking me on Twitter and every other avenue, such as Twitch. And that was it. So, for some reason, I felt the need to just kind of run away from it and not compensate me. And so here's the problem that we run into. Is they could get away with it. Because at the end of the day, what could I have done to force them to pay me my money? Yes, they can just block me and move on. And it's bothersome that they easily just did that, just because of the reasoning of they weren't going to use it, but I didn't deserve to be compensated for my work for some reason. Artists out there, please protect yourselves. Make sure to either A, get them to pay before, B, make them pay half, or if they don't want to do either one of those options, then maybe don't take the commission. It just, obviously it's case by case basis. If you know this person already or you trust them, if they pay after they will, then yeah, of course do that. But if it's brand new, I would say be wary of those who want to pay after, because this could happen where, you complete it and they don't pay. Or if you do want to do after, do not send them the work until they pay you, which is what I probably should have done, but it's okay. They weren't going to use it anyway. But anyway, so the silver lining of this story is that a lovely friend of mine, they saw my story because I posted it on Twitter. I put a poll up. I wrote down a story, and the poll, I think something along the lines of like, should they still pay me even though it's been 10 months? And the majority said yes, of course. There was a few no's, which, whatever. But yeah, everyone said yes, they should still pay you regardless of how long it's been because you both forgot about it, whatever. And regardless if they're going to use it. And a friend of mine, he is a musician, and so he felt my plight, and he retweeted it just to give awareness. This is not the friend that gave me the money, but there was a lovely friend, he DM'd me, who has commissioned me before. He's very sweet, and he offered to give me $90. I said, no, you don't have to, but he did anyway, so I was compensated, not via the commissioner, but through a friend, and I really do appreciate that. But not everybody has that, and unfortunately, a lot of people get scammed nowadays and they cannot get their money back. And you see a lot of those stories on Twitter sometimes with VTuber designs or models or artists who go ghost and basically don't respond. This happened recently with a friend of mine. Actually, recently they wanted a PNG tuber, and they paid for it and everything, but the artist decided to just eventually stop responding to them. They're currently trying to get it figured out via VGen, but it's kind of sad that artists keep doing this. Well, in this case, it's an artist, but clients also. It's both ways. But there has to be better ways we can protect ourselves from these situations. At the moment, I don't know. I mean, besides the few things I already stated, making sure either have them pay before or pay half. That way, both of you guys are kind of like protected if you do half. And if they really, really want to pay after, then make sure you don't send them the final product until they give you the money. Because if you do send it and then they just run off with it, well, they got it for free essentially. So please protect yourself. For artists, or rather for clients who commission an artist and they start ghosting you, unfortunately, I don't know really how to prevent that, other than make sure to check the reputation of said artists, make sure that they do actually complete artworks, so that way you feel confident when you are commissioning someone that they are worth commissioning because they actually are trustworthy. But yeah, that's when I got scammed. This is my first ever story video. Let me know what you think. I like it. I haven't gone through a lot of stuff like that are worth videos probably, but I will always ask for ideas for videos. I know this one's a little bit shorter than my other actual videos I did a couple weeks ago, but hey, there's nothing wrong with a little short and sweet. I hope you guys enjoy it though. Like I said, feel free to check out all my socials in the description, such as my Twitch, VGen, my YouTube you already here, etc, etc. And like I said, all the messages will be in that Google Drive. Feel free to look at it if you want to. Again, it's just make sure to look out for red flags, which I didn't see any in this situation. But if there's any more obvious ones in your situation, feel free to make sure to pay attention to them. Don't let them slide. Talk to other people that you know if you are a little bit sus of somebody, to protect yourself, because that is the most important thing. Protect your assets, protect your money, protect whatever it is. And for artists, protect your time, because just because you do a job and they don't want to use it doesn't mean they don't have to pay you. That's messed up in my opinion. And people get away with this all the time. And it needs to stop, personally, because it's just disrespectful. Like, if you don't respect artists, then you don't deserve to commission anybody ever. Anyway, as far as that being said, I think that's all I have to say. All the art will also be in description, though I am showing the finished work after each speed paint. And with that, I think that's it. Please take care. I don't know what I'll be doing next week. I might be talking about my iPad Pro and why I prefer it over my graphics tablet that I don't use. But with that, I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for checking out my video, and I will talk to you guys next week. Bye! you